Hi, welcome everyone. This is Libby Balsiger, founder of Chica Communications Company. I am here today with Steve Pernot. He has kindly asked me over the last couple of years to work with him as a communication coach. And that's largely what I do with my business, in addition to marketing and branding for organizations that are on a mission to create a better world. So, really happy to have Steve here today with us. Steve Pernot, he is the CEO and founder of Free Agent Source. Love to talk to you today, Steve, on behalf of Authority Magazine, and want to talk to you a little bit about your best practices and kind of key learnings from this time as being an entrepreneur in your life.
Hi, Libby. Thank
Over to
you.
you.
What are the five things I need to ride the emotional highs and lows of being an entrepreneur? Number one is I keep a happy list. Other people call it more elegantly gratitude, but I keep a happy list of people like yourself. It's a pleasure to work with you, Libby. Circumstances in my life, where I live, just things that are going on, and actually stuff. There's things that I'm impressed that other people have put their energy into that benefit my life, whether it's an e-reader or a car or but yeah, people, circumstances, and things. If I lost all of the business, everything just collapsed, I would still have that list, and those circumstances, those people would still be in my life. And that really does pull me through.
I've heard that if you refer to a happy list or a gratitude list or start the day with gratitude, that is the key to happiness. So thank you for sharing that. It's a good reminder for all of us.
Number two, nurture a diversified life, personal life. So there's more to my life than the business and Free Agent Source and work. And I have friends and family, of course. I'm involved in a couple of organizations. I volunteer. One is a foundation for the visual arts. You and I are both interested in music, and musical performance is something that interests me because musicians and performers have the same problem as entrepreneurs, which is they have a vision in their head. How do you go from nothing to something, to a performance? And I'm fascinated. I'm always watching interviews with artists and how they get there and how they get through that journey. I'm also involved in the local Boy Scouts troop, and which is a very different kind of organization, and that tends to cross-pollinate. So when one is down, the other is up, and it's almost like a diversified financial portfolio. Only for me, it's emotional diversity. And I have other things that I'm interested in just by myself as my own activities. But yeah, that diversity of in your personal life, or at least in my personal life, tends to balance out whatever's going on with the business and helps.
Yeah. Oh, that's so important. And then also, I love how you talked about how you give back and focus on something other than yourself. We can get so absorbed into what we do every day. And it's really important to take those breaks, focus on other people, focus on things that matter, give back, and enjoy your life.
Number three, I am a bit of a minimalist. I intentionally try to simplify my personal life. Now that's, Steve, didn't you just say diversify your personal life? Yes, I did, but not too much. So I try to minimize the number of organizations, the number of people, the number of commitments I make. And also, this goes down to things. I try to keep a home and an office that doesn't have too much stuff. Many of those things, except for the shiny objects, we have some things that remind us emotionally, but everything else is really an intention that we need to do or want to do. And so if we've got all this stuff, papers, bills that need to be paid, filed, scanned, contact this person, write a note, those are all intentions. And if you have too many around the house, or at least if I do, that creates stress. So I have to work at it to minimize my personal circumstances, so that personal organization or simplicity makes it possible to give in business.
What a good reminder. I think that hear a lot about, feng shui and kind of
Yeah.
the ability that your environment helps you think more clearly. And there's an energy in everything, so
Mhm.
really good point that you brought up of as commitments, attaching these commitments to papers and bills, as you said, and how that clouds thinking. So thank
It
you for
does.
sharing that.
Number four, don't delay personal experiences. So there have been several moments in my life when, there's a new client opportunity, a meeting, or, we've inevitably, when we book a vacation or a weekend away, something will suggest, some person, some opportunity. Oh, can you move the dates? Can you cancel? Can you do this thing? And certainly, as if you're an employee in a company, that's just an ongoing cultural thing in many companies. Just the suggestion that, well, you might not want to travel over Christmas because it's crunch time for us. I remember I took a potential client call. It was scheduled right after my son was going into surgery for his tonsils.
Hmm.
And I wasn't there in the pre-operating room. My wife was.
Hmm.
In the end, the call ended up being not worth it. The client wasn't a good match, and I didn't speak to them again after that. But I missed that moment.
Mm,
He was young. He doesn't remember. It's not a thing with him. And I was there when he came out. But nevertheless, for me, that is the harshest reminder. I will never do that again. I will never give up, that personal opportunity, because they're everything to me. And this client was just a transaction.
flash in the pan. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a big reminder for me. Don't delay personal
Personal experiences.
experiences for something that's sort of transactional. Number five, for me, business is a performance art. As a
Hmm.
creator,
Hmm.
entrepreneurs are inherently creators, and so are
Hmm.
artists. This is an act of creation and a performance and an exchange, just like performers and audiences. That's a two-way experience. And so for me, if we have a setback with our business, if something doesn't go well, it's not like, oh, go back to the beginning and now you're 1 or 2 years more away from the IPO or from some round of investment or from some customer. And so what can we as performers do better? And it's more about continuous improvement rather than this linear. It's the old
That's
saying,
right.
it's the journey, not the destination. And so that
Journey.
keeps me in the game, because, well, I don't ever want to get off the journey.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So that's really inspiring for other entrepreneurs or people thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, who may be listening to you right now. So I thank you for sharing these 5 key takeaways of riding the highs and lows of being an entrepreneur. Thank you for sharing. It's been a great, great moment to talk to you about these things, and really appreciate it.
Thank you, Libby.